Okay, hello. So, excuse the angle, and also excuse the background noise. This truck just literally came as soon as I sat down and started recording. So, like usual, please don't make anything fit. Please use your own discernment. This is not going to be 110% for everybody who's here. But if you're open to it, this should be helpful to you in some capacity. If you want to take a deep breath, you can. You don't have to. 1, 2, 3. And then let it go. It is very hot right now. This is summer weather. And so just know that I'm melting. We have the relationships card and then the blame card. So there's a lot of yellow energy coming out, which is actually quite fitting because it is very hot. The sun is doing its job. The relationships card says, I'm attracted to those who serve my higher good. And one thing that I was tuned into before I even got to sit down for this was like, you might be in a really flowy sort of energy right now. Like, things might just be happening really synchronistically, really beautifully for you at this time. And most likely this is coming after a time where things were not going so smoothly for you, where things were very frustrating and like there were a bunch of delays. And life is a series of ups and downs. Sometimes it doesn't go exactly how we like, and then sometimes it's like, okay, this is too good. You know what I mean? And that's the sort of energy I feel like you're in right now. And another thing that I was tuned into is somebody who is wanting, emphasis on wanting to step out of their comfort zone, wanting to be a little bit more of a social butterfly, but feeling some sort of resistance around that for whatever reason. And this is probably not going to necessarily shift you out of that hermit mode, but like, there is this energy of like, because whoever I'm talking to, I feel like you're very aware of a lot of unseen forces, a lot of unseen things. And to some degree, you understand that a lot of people are affected by the unseen world. And so there is a thing of like not being so hard on yourself and understanding that part of why you are such a hermit is because you are protecting your energy. Even if you're not always conscious of like the ways in which you are protecting yourself or what you're protecting yourself from, like that's something that comes through. Just be honest with what's going on. Whoever's tuned into this, whoever's open to this, please. Once again, don't make anything fit. Oh shit. We have an unknown card. Hold on. Okay, so we do have the Queen of Discs, which is the Queen of Pentacles, and the theme of this card is nurturing. And then we do have the Seven of Cups choices at the bottom of the deck, top of the deck. So there is something that you're building, very likely, and I feel like the thing that you're building does require you to make a lot of choices. Obviously, everything is a choice. So, what you have for breakfast is a choice. Whether or not you have breakfast is a choice. And once again, I feel like whatever you're building does require you to be really present with yourself and really make decent choices for yourself, for your future. Ace of Wands is here. And there might be somebody who's kind of on autopilot. We have the Emperor card, Aries energy. There might be somebody who's on autopilot. And, it's fine if it works, and I was talking about this on live stream recently. Like, everybody's shadow is different. Some people's shadows are really glittery and sparkly and abundant and beautiful, while other people's shadows are maybe not so beautiful, maybe not so helpful to our conscious desires. And so, like, if you're the former, sure, be on autopilot, let your shadow do the work, whatever. But for most of us, there's a need for us to not allow the shadow to run the show, because when we allow the shadow to run the show, that's when we get into all sorts of trouble. That's when we, create disharmony for ourselves. We have 5 Pentacles, 5 Swords, destitution, defeat, other D words, and that's not what you want. So, once again, being present with ourselves and, checking in with ourselves and, one second. Some of you could be manifesting a relationship, could be manifesting love of some sort. And we do have the Magician card, the 3 of Cups, the 2 of Cups. And so there is something about mind, body, spirit, being in alignment with your spirit. And, a beautiful creator reminded me recently that, we shouldn't be striving for perfection necessarily, but I think it is also necessary, like, when you have the eyes to see, when you understand, like, I'm not trying to convince you of anything. If you don't believe this, you can say not believing. But we do live in a world where there's a lot of unseen forces that influence us and dictate us. And when you become aware of that, I think it becomes necessary to see, and then they don't want me to say this. It becomes extra necessary to be mindful and be conscious of the ways in which we are being influenced. I'm about to go and have a workout after this, and that's one way that I've been trying to stay on top of my own stuff. There's a lot of noise, there's a lot of distraction in this moment, and once again, we live in a world that is tainted with like parasitic energies, and like, I don't want to use the word demonic, but some of you might resonate with the word demonic. Regardless of what word you use, it's really necessary that you be mindful, be conscious of the ways in which some of your actions might not be your actions, consciously. But once again, we shouldn't be striving for perfection. But I think that when you realize that we are constantly being influenced by unseen forces, then you can maybe make better choices for yourself. I feel like I'm talking to somebody who is like really deep in the trenches, potentially. I know I was talking about things being flowy, and like, two things can exist at once. You can be in the trenches and also have things run really smoothly for you. Once again, don't make anything fit, only take what resonates. But I do feel like I'm talking to somebody who's like really buried in like negative thoughts and negative habits right now, and really needing a reset of sorts. Yeah, we have the Judgment card at the bottom of the deck. So, like, I feel like your higher self is really calling you to like make better choices for yourself, for your future self, for the people around you, etc., etc. I'm gonna pull another from the Soul's Journey deck and see what comes out. I'm just for Holy Spirit, please. We have abundance and acceptance. Ooh, period. Okay. And then denial right underneath. Denial comes out right underneath acceptance. It's not that funny, but I thought it was funny because, I feel like they're two sides of the same coin. Yeah, I feel like somebody's having a relatively hard time. This could be you, this could also be somebody else, but somebody's having a relatively hard time coming to terms with the idea that they are more than just this physical body. Once again, I feel like this might be somebody else. Maybe it is you. Maybe you're about to reach acceptance, and like, part of these spiritual lessons and these reminders and stuff is not just information, it's things to integrate into our daily lives. Like I've said this before, like, it doesn't matter how much you know, how much you are aware of, if you're not integrating it into your daily life. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't mean anything to recognize or to hear that we live in a parasitic world if you're not also being mindful of that on a daily basis. It doesn't mean you have to be paranoid all the time or be afraid, but or also, alternative, to go on the more light side, it doesn't matter to know that love is the most powerful force in the universe if you're not also applying that somehow to your daily life. So that's a message for somebody, like integration, applying things to your life, etc., etc. Yeah, I feel like whoever I'm talking to, you're very smart, you're very talented, and for some of you, there's a call for you to like really put yourself out there more, really share your gifts with others, and it might be scary, it might feel like at first, but like, I think that would definitely be a beautiful thing. And ultimately, I hope this was helpful to you. I hope this was useful. I hope you got something out of this. I hope you know that whatever you're going through is temporary, because everything is temporary. And if you enjoyed this, you should definitely engage with the video. Let me know down in the comments what you think. If you would like a painting of mine, I'm selling my paintings right now, 70 USD if you'd like that. And it also comes with a handwritten intuitive message. If you want to purchase more than one, I guess that's cool, but like, once again, it's just one intuitive message per person. So if you're interested in that, DM me, hit me up, and hope you have a nice rest of your day. Hope you know that you're loved, and bye.